watching CNN International. I'm Jack Blitzer. Now, Jerry's back home in the studio in the CNN headquarters in Atlanta. Now, Jerry, right along the lines of what you were saying, I got to tell you, you're right on the money with this whole Larzac Festival thing. Now, we are here in southern France. How about that? Check that out. Southern France at the Larzac Festival, music festival. Now, let me tell you something, Jerry. This experience is being just incredible. We've had the chance to talk to some of the musicians here. The access to the musicians is actually highly restricted. Now, we have the honor and the privilege to have Professor Vladimir Kalatouchnikov today with us. He's a world-renowned international concert cellist and fresh off the plane from Moscow. Now, what we want to do is basically talk with him about his first impressions in the Larzac Festival and what it's been like to be here in France. Well, I said fresh off the plane, you know, but actually he's been here for about 3-4 days, and we're looking forward to hear from Professor Kalatouchnikov. So, Professor Vladimir Kalatouchnikov, it must be absolutely thrilling for you to be here at the Larzac Festival in France. Now, tell us, are you excited about your situation here in the Larzac Festival? What are your first impressions? Are you actually, just tell us about it. What is it like?
Well, it's okay. It's okay.
Professor Kalatouchnikov, thanks. I imagine it must be just incredible to be working here with all the other musicians in the festival. Now tell us a little bit about how this experience is being for you.
People in Larzac Festival, a musician is okay, yeah? But I have come many times. In Moscow, I come from Moscow, yeah? I play many times with great musicians, Russian musicians. Yes.
Now, Mr. Kalatouchnikov, I understand most of the musicians attending the Larzac Festival are French and American musicians. How has this been for you?
You know, I study in Moscow Tchaikovsky Conservatory with Anatoly Kavadarchenko. You know Anatoly Kavadarchenko, yes? Anatoly Kavadarchenko is greatest cello teacher in history. He won third prize in Tchaikovsky competition in 1962. Yes, you know this.
No, sir. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to say a level of Russian musician where I come from, and I play many times. And a level is different. Is higher. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know. Sorry. You know what I say, yes?
Now, Professor Kalatouchnikov, your education, as you say, is very impressive. Is there any funny anecdote you could tell us about of your professor at the Moscow Conservatory?
Yes, my teacher, really funny experience. I tell you, this one time I was studying many hours in Moscow, Tchaikovsky Conservatory, and I studied, make practice and professor come and tell me, Vladimir, what you do, and I say, and drink, and many, so he tell me to come outside, and I under after and tell me everything, and I don't know what to say, so and I laugh, and everybody laugh, and it's great. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah. You understand what I say, yes?
Professor Kalatouchnikov, could you please tell us a little bit about your teaching philosophy? We all know you are an internationally renowned teacher. We would like to know how you go about teaching.
Yes. It's a long story. Jack, you ask a very difficult question. Yeah? And yes, the teaching. Student, teacher. Yeah, what I learned in yeah, you understand. You have understand level is very high in Moscow, so yes, different. And I level in teaching is philosophy. I look for philosophy of change in stream and I don't know how to say, develop in student. It tell other you go and practice. And this is more important because adaptation in muscle, you make music, and other in many students have all tell you story. So this professor is same. You do same, exactly the same thing. And this is the philosophy of teaching. I always do this with my students. Always. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Well, Jerry, back to you in the studio in Atlanta. We're just as always with all the other musicians, we've been really blown away with this incredible personality of Vladimir Kalatouchnikov. Actually, right before we go back to you in the studio back in Atlanta, we're going to have the chance to see Professor Kalatouchnikov teach. Now, this is going to be absolutely incredible. We're all looking forward to it. And we're going to go ahead and take a look into one of Professor Kalatouchnikov's master classes.
Your concept is more. Yes. Yeah, make other more in It's contact. Don't understand. More intense in sound. Yes. You don't understand. This concept of sound is in. You have is make beautiful sound. You have to make it beautiful. Let's start at the beginning. Understand? Yeah. This concept. Okay. So I know it's very difficult, but you practice. You have practice many hours in the day. When I was in Moscow Conservatory, practiced 20 hours a day. I'm sorry.